Okay, so we're going to continue with polynomial. And yesterday we talked about, the factor theorem and the remainder theorem and all those things. Okay, so these are some of the questions that, were given for homework. Okay? And that's what we're going to go through now. Could you please open the door? Thank you. We are already online. Okay. So in question 1, they say find the factors of the following polynomial. Okay, and then in question 2, question 3, 4, and 5 is a little bit more than that. Okay, sometimes the question looks very, very complicated and, tricky, but in reality it's simple. Okay, I'm going to give you exactly 30 seconds to copy this down in your book, and then we're going to start. Okay, 5 seconds left. Okay, so we are doing some of the question from homework. And if you came late, you can take a photo. Okay, you can take a photo and then you can copy that in your book. But now you need to pay attention because we're going to start in about 10 seconds. All right, so you can copy the rest later, but I just want you to pay attention to this. Okay, question 1. Question 1, they say that you're going to find the factors of the following polynomial. Okay, this topic, polynomial, is all about factorization. Okay, so keep that in mind. That polynomial is about factorization. Okay, the main thing that we are doing when manipulating polynomial is to be able to factor them. Okay, and I explained to you that if you have a polynomial fully factored, then it's very easy to see what is going on in terms of the graph and also in terms of, the zeros, and then we can apply that to solve an equation. All right, so here we go. Solution. Solution. Question 1A. All right. So we're going to say let P of x is equal to x cubed minus 3x squared plus 3x minus 1. Okay. From yesterday, we say that if you want to find the factors, first thing that you have to do, you got to look at the constants. Okay, so we're going to look at this constant, which is -1, and then we're going to find the factors of that constant. And we know that the factors of -1 is, what is it? Yeah, okay. Okay. And then we're going to check what happened when you substitute 1, and then what happened when you substitute -1. Okay, so P of +1, okay, P +1 is going to be 1 cubed minus 3 times 1 squared plus 3 times 1 minus 1. Okay, so what is the answer for that? 0, okay? Excellent. So that's what we want. Yay. Okay. So therefore you say, therefore x minus 1 is a factor of p of x. Okay. That is coming from the factor theorem. Okay. So if this is equal to 0, then you know that x minus 1 is a factor. That's it. Great. Okay, but we know that in here we expect to have 3 factors. Okay, that is what we normally expect when you have a cubic. All right? So that means that we're going to have to find the other factors. How do we find the other factors? By doing the long division. Okay, so we're going to have to do the long division. So we're going to say also, comma. Okay, so we got x minus 1. Okay, and then we do what we normally do. Okay? All right, so we divide the leading term by the leading term, so this is going to be x squared. And then we multiply that by the divisor, so that will give you x cubed minus x squared. And then we take away, that will give you minus 3 plus 1, so it's going to be minus 2x squared. And then we know that we have to bring the next term down, so it's 3x. And then we're going to divide negative 2x squared by x, so that will give you minus 2x. And then we're going to multiply that by the divisor, so that will give you minus 2x squared plus 2x. And then we take away again, so that will give you 3x minus 2x, so it's going to be x. Bring the next one down. Okay, and you can see that up to here, the remainder is equal to the divisor, so that means that, you know, the answer for the remainder is going to be 0. But let's do, so it's 1. And then we put x minus 1, 0. Done. Okay, so then finally you're going to say, therefore, my polynomial now, p of x, is looking like x minus 1 multiplied by x squared minus 2x plus 1. All right. And then you have to inspect this and see whether you can factorize, you know, these quadratic. Negative 1 and negative 1. Okay, so I mean that is x minus 1, and then x minus 1, and then x minus 1, like that. Okay, now, what is that telling you? We have a triple root for this. Okay, so this can be written as x minus 1 cubed. All right? That's it. And this, like I said, this is, for any mathematician, this is great. Okay, because we were able to factor this polynomial, and that's what we want all the time. Okay, so when, I said it again, when we do polynomial in high school, it's all about factorization, being able to factor a polynomial. So then you can solve the equation of higher degree, as I've been telling you. Okay, so that is the answer for question 1. Any question? Are you okay with that?
How would you, don't worry.
Okay, so too easy. Say it again, if you came late, then you're going to have to take a photo of this because, yeah, we need to move on quickly. Okay, but you see, but technology is good in a way because you can share some of the video if you want. Okay. All right, and also I'm going to be uploading this video this weekend, so they're going to be all available, okay, in the Google Classroom and also in YouTube. Okay, and then you can, if you miss out a bit, then you can still catch up. Okay, next question. Question B. And the polynomial is x cubed minus 1. So we're going to say let p of x equal to x cubed minus 1. Okay, so can you see that we can do this in two different ways? We can use, the difference of two cubes. Can you see that? Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to say solution 1. And so we're going to have p of x is equal to x cubed minus 1 cubed. And then we can use the formula for the difference of two cubes. Okay, so this is going to be equal to x minus 1 and then x squared plus x and then plus 1, like that. All right, so in here we have a linear factor and in here we have a quadratic factor. Can we simplify this quadratic factor? Okay, let's check first. Can we find two numbers that when you times them together equal to 1, and then when you plus them together is also equal to 1? No. Okay, now, so we cannot do them. Then the next thing that we could do is to use the formula. Okay, so do you remember the formula? X is equal to minus b plus or minus square root. Okay, so we can make that equal to 0 and try to find, the 0 in that way. Okay, have a go and see if you can solve this equation. So you're going to equate this to equal to 0 and then use the formula and see if you can solve it. You will see that you're going to have a problem, okay? Because if you attempt to solve this, if you equate that equal to 0 and attempt to solve it, then you're going to have the square root of a negative number. Can you see that? Yeah. Okay, so if you attempt to solve this using the quadratic formula, you're going to have the square root of a negative number. So that means that we cannot reduce this anymore. So we say that this is irreducible. Okay, we can't reduce anymore. Okay, that's it. So that means that it looks like the answer or the factor form of this polynomial is just this. Okay, we cannot do anything else. Okay, but I really want to use, what we have been doing and see how we're going to find the answer for this. Okay, so you're going to write it down again. So p of x is equal to x cubed minus 1. And then we need to find the factors of negative 1. Find the factors of negative 1, which are negative 1 and positive 1. Okay, so we're going to check what happened with 1. So p of 1. Okay, p of 1 is equal to, if you substitute in here, it's going to be equal to 0. Okay? Okay, so p of 1 is equal to 0. Beautiful. Because now we know that x minus 1 is a factor. Okay, so therefore you say, therefore x minus 1 is a factor of px. And then what we should do is to do long division. All right? If you do long division, you can see that there are few terms missing. Can you see that we don't have the x squared and we don't have the x, so you should put 0. But we're not going to do the long division because we know what to do. Okay, so just in case. So if you want to do the long division, make sure that you complete the polynomial. Okay, so you're going to put x cubed plus 0x squared plus 0x, and then minus 1, and then you're going to divide that by x minus 1. And then you will see that the answer, the remainder have to be 0, because this is a factor. And then at the end by long division, we're going to say by long division, comma, we have that p of x is exactly to x minus 1, x squared plus x plus 1. And that's it. And we saw that we cannot do anymore. Can you see? Can you see from there?
Question 8, is that to the power of 5 or power of 3?
This one? Yeah, to the power of 3. So it's 2x. Okay. Question C. Can I write this off? Yeah? Okay. Okay, when you do this question in test, please be logical. Okay, make sure that you write things in logical order and try to make sense. Okay, please do not write things all over the place. So you have to have the working out and a proper conclusion. Okay, question C. Question C, we have 4. I'm going to put the polynomial. So we're going to say let p of x equal to that. So it's 4x cubed minus 24x squared plus 17x plus 15. All right. So again, we're going to look at the constant. And if we are lucky enough, we can find, the answer very quickly. Otherwise, we're going to have to play around with this constant. Okay, factors. Factors of 15. So factors is 1 and negative 1. Okay, so 1 and negative 1. So you're going to put plus or minus 1, plus or minus 3, plus or minus 5, and then plus or minus 15. Okay, so we have a lot of factors to choose from. All right? Okay, let's do 1. Okay, so if you substitute P1, P of 1, can you please tell me what the answer is?
It's not 0.
It's not equal to 0?
It's 12.
12, okay. So we're going to say that this is 12, and that is not equal to 0. So no luck. Okay. What about P of negative 1? Can you please evaluate P of negative 1?
It's negative 28.
Okay, negative 28. Is it? All right, quick. P of negative 1. Okay, it's not equal to 0. Is that clear? Not equal to 0. Okay, so we'll say that is not equal to 0. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Let's check P of 3. Okay, now please make sure that you put the numbers correctly, because we don't want to waste time. Okay, so plug the number properly into the expression, and then make sure that you do that properly in your calculator. Negative 42, so that's it. It doesn't work. Okay, P of negative 3. Okay, check the negative 3 now. for, is that for negative 3? Okay.
So someone else not finished that.
I got 72 for that one.
Okay, well, it's still not 0.
Okay, it's still not 0. So, all right, so that's it. So you can see sometimes you can find the number straight away, sometimes, yeah, it's not that easy. Okay, so try 5 now.
That's 0.
Is that 0? Excellent. Okay, so exclamation mark. Remember that exclamation mark means what?
You're excited.
Yeah, we're excited about it. Okay, we're happy about it. Okay, so that is great. Okay, and then we say therefore, x minus 5 is a factor of px. And then we know what to do. Okay, so to find the other factors, we're going to divide this big polynomial by x minus 4. Right. I want you to do that very, very carefully. And then you're going to tell me what the answer is. Okay, go for it. Okay, so to find the other factors, we do long division. And because this is a factor, then you know that the remainder have to be equal to 0. Okay? Done? Okay, so we know that the answer is gonna be p of x is equal to x minus 5 multiplied by whatever you get. Okay, and so we are waiting for the answer for this part. Okay, so we're waiting for the answer for that part. Okay, so x minus 5, and then that is equal to
4x squared minus 4x minus
4x squared minus 4x
Yeah.
And
Minus 3.
minus 3. Okay, do you get similar? Yeah? Same? Excellent. All right. Okay, and then we're going to have to continue factorizing this factor. Okay, so can you find two numbers that when you times them together equal negative 12, and then when you add them together equal negative 4? Can you find those things? Okay, and then when you factorize it, what is the answer? 2x minus 3 in bracket. 2x plus 1. Okay, can you please check your answer? Okay, so I believe that this is the correct answer. And again, this is great, okay, because you can see we're able to factor this very long, ugly-looking polynomial. Okay, and we know that this is equivalent to this, and that is great. Okay, because if the question was solve this equation, okay, can you see that this is a cubic equation? If the question was solve this equation, solve for x cubed minus 24x squared plus 17x plus 15 equals 0, then you know that this is equal to this. And then you say, well, the answer or the solution for that equation is, well, x equal 5, x equal 3 on 2, and then x equal to negative half. Okay, so we have 3 real solutions. Okay, are you okay with this? Do you get the same answer? Yeah. Okay, if you got the same answer, then you should be very proud of yourself. Okay? All right, let's go and do the next one. Okay, question D. So we're going to say let P of x equal to 2x cubed plus x squared minus 25x and then plus 12. Right. I want you to do this. Okay, give it a go. So you're going to find the factors of 12 and you're going to see which one works. Okay, and then you're going to find it, and then you're going to divide by that factor, and so on. So at the end, I want the full answer. So I'm going to give you a few minutes. In the meantime, I'm going to just pause the video, and then we'll continue. God, you're a legend.
Like I didn't want to say that on the video.
Yeah, I know. You could have waited until
One day I'm going to say, Sarah, you're a legend. Aladala High School. Extension 1. Before school. Okay, so now we're going to write down the answer. All right, after all your hard work, we're going to say that P of X in factor form is equal to?
Wait, do I give like fully simplified?
Yeah, the final answer.
Okay, bracket
X minus 3,
and bracket
X plus 4,
and bracket
2X minus 1. Okay, you can have this in any order. It doesn't matter. Okay, as long as you have the 3 factors, then it's done. In any order. All right? Okay. Okay, so I'm going to do question 2. I'm going to do question 2 and question 4, and you're going to do question 3 and question 5 for homework. Okay? So I'm going to do question 2 and 4, question 3 and 5 for homework. Question 5 looks long, but if you think about it, you can do that in 2 seconds. Okay, question 2. In question 2, they say for what value k, x minus 1 is a factor of that polynomial. Okay, so for what value of k, x minus 1 is a factor of that polynomial. Okay, so we're going to say solution. We're going to write out this expression as a proper polynomial. So we're going to say let p of x equal to x squared minus 3x plus k. Okay, now the question is giving you a lot of information. Okay, they say that x minus 1 is a factor. Can you see that the question say x minus 1 is a factor? So I'm going to underline that. And that is important because you already know that p at 1 is equal to 0. Okay? So you're going to say as x minus 1 is a factor of p of x, then, so therefore we're going to say p at 1 must be equal to 0. Otherwise it wouldn't be a factor. And then what we're going to do, we're going to substitute 1 in here. So we're going to substitute the value of 1 in here, and then we're going to make that equal to 0. Okay, so we're going to say or. That means that 1 squared minus 3 times 1 plus k equals 0. And then it's done, because then we make k the subject. Okay, so in here we're going to have 1 minus 2, which is minus 2. So therefore, k is equal to 2. All right. Beautiful. Okay, now, also, you got to put things in context. And so that means that if you substitute k equal 2 in here, okay, so I want you to pay attention to this because this is important. You have to develop your analytical thinking. Okay, k is equal to 2, meaning that if you substitute 2 in here, and then you divide this by x minus 1, the remainder have to be equal to 0, okay? That's what I'm saying. You have to put things into context. You have to develop your logical thinking. Okay, the answer is, yeah, it's good. It's easy. We have the answer, k equal 2. But what does it mean? Okay, so you have to go a little bit further about your conclusion. All right? Are you okay with this? Okay. My dust. All right. Okay, question 4. Okay, now you're going to have to remember a little bit about solving a simultaneous equation. Easy one. Okay, so it's not going to be a hard one. And the reason why we're going to have to solve this simultaneously is because we have to find 2 unknowns. Can you see? So we have to find the answer for A and we have to find the answer for B. So it's 2 unknowns. So whenever you need to find 2 unknowns, you have to have 2 equations. Otherwise, impossible. Okay, you have to have set of equations. Okay, but then we're going to have to read this very, very carefully and try to make sense. All right, they say if this polynomial is divisible by both x plus 3 and x minus 4, find the value of a and b. All right, so from here, back to the first statement. In here they say that x plus 3, or the other way around. In here they say that this polynomial is divisible by this, which means that this is a factor. From the moment that you see that something is a factor, that is divisible, but that is a factor. Okay, so this is a factor, so we're going to highlight it. And this is also a factor. And they gave you two factors because we have two unknowns. Can you see that? Okay, that's the reason why they gave you one factor, two factors, because we have two unknowns. Okay, this factor will help you to find A, and this factor will help you to find B. Okay, and this is how we're going to do it. Okay, we're going to say, given that x plus 3 is a factor, then we know what happened. Okay, so we know that p of negative 3 must be equal to 0. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a factor. Okay, and then we're going to substitute negative 3 into my expression. Okay, so we're going to say if p of x is equal to xq plus ax plus b. Now we're going to substitute negative 3 into that expression, and then we're going to equate that to 0. Okay, I'm going to do this very, very slowly in low motion. Okay, so then you can understand. All right, so we're going to substitute negative 3. So here we go. So we do negative 3q plus a multiplied by negative 3 plus b equal 0. And I'm going to call this equation 1, dot, 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 equation 1. Similarly, given that x minus 4 is also a factor, then we can say that p at positive 4 is equal to 0. So we're going to say also p 4 is also equal to 0, as x minus 4 is a factor. And then we're going to do what we did with the previous line. So we're going to substitute 4 into my equation and equate that equal to 0. So then we're going to say 4q plus a times 4 plus b equal to 0. And that will give us the second equation. So how many equations we have in there? We have two equations because we have how many unknown? 2, all right? Okay, now we're going to write this equation in simplest form. So then we're going to have I'm going to put this b minus 3a. Okay, so b minus 3a. And then I'm going to move this number over the other side. Okay, so in this side is going to be negative 27. So on the other side is going to be positive 27. All right, so that is my equation 1. And then I'm going to do a similar thing for the next one. So we're going to have b plus 4a is equal to, well, 4q. What's the answer for q? 60? Okay, and then I'm going to move that to the other side, so it's negative 64. And that is going to be my equation 2. And then what I'm going to do, because can you see that in here the coefficient of b is the same? Yeah, so I'm going to do elimination. So I'm going to do equation 1 minus equation 2. So we're going to say equation 1 minus equation 2 will give us. So you do b minus b is 0. We don't have b anymore. But then we've got to be careful because it's going to be minus 3 minus 4. So it's going to be minus 7. So we're going to have minus 7a is equal to, and then you do 27 plus 64. What's the answer for 27 plus 64?
It's 91.
91. Okay, and then you're going to divide 91 by negative 7, negative 13. All right, great. Okay, so we already know that a is equal to that. Okay, so we done a. Done. And then find b. Okay, to find b is easy. Okay, because all what we have to do is substitute this number into equation 1 or equation 2. It doesn't matter. Okay, Sarah, which one do you want to pick? 1 or 2?
1.
Okay, so we're going to say from 1, we have that b minus 3a is equal to 27. Okay, so therefore, b is going to be equal to 27 plus 3a. And then we're going to substitute the value of a. Okay, so b is equal to 27 plus 3 times negative 13. And that will give you the answer for b, which is negative 12. Okay. Okay, what does it mean? Okay, so we have the answer. Yeah, great. But now we have to put that into context. Okay, that means, okay, this result means that if you substitute negative 13 where a is, and if you substitute negative 12 where b is, and then you divide this polynomial by either x plus 3 or x minus 4, then the remainder is going to be 0. Okay? That's it. That's all what that means. Right. Okay, so we got 5 minutes. And I'm going to introduce one thing that is extremely important and very useful for you. We're going to continue with this sort of question, okay, but I really want to do at least one question that you're going to be doing later, which is solving equation, okay? So I'm going to show you how you're going to solve a cubic equation. Okay, so we all know how to solve quadratic equation, okay? So we all know how to solve quadratic equation, but my challenge for you is to solve the following equation. Solve the following equation. I'm going to say equations because I'm going to put 2 of them. Okay, the first one is x cubed minus 3x squared minus 6x plus 8 equal to 0. And the second one is 2x cubed plus 3x squared minus 23x minus 12 equal to 0. All right. Okay, so you can see that is no way in the world that you're going to be using the quadratic formula. Reason why? Because they are not quadratic. Okay, so they are cubic. And I said to you that, yeah, there are some formula to solve cubic equation, but rather than simplifying, the solution, it will make the solution more complicated than what the answer is. Okay, so how are we going to do this? All right, so let's say solution. Number 1. Okay, step number 1. We are going to find the factors of 8. So we're going to be doing basically the same as we did before. Okay, because I really want to have this in factor form. because if we can find the factors of this, then we can, find the zeros, which are the answer for this problem. Okay, so I'm going to write it down again. So x cubed minus 3x squared minus 6x plus 8 equals 0. Okay, and then you're going to find the factors of 8, and you're going to tell me which one work. Okay, so if you're lucky, you can find, the number straight away. If you're not that lucky, then you're going to have to go through a few of them. Okay, find the factors. Okay, anyone? Have you found any? One? Okay, so we got 1 minus. Yes.
Oh, no.
Yes, it works. Okay, so 1, yeah, because you say 1 minus 3 minus 6 plus 8, well, the answer is equal to 0.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. 1 is.
Yeah, because 1 plus 8 is equal to 9, and then you take away 9, so it's 0. You see? All right, okay. So by inspection, we have that P of 1 is equal to 0. Great. Yes?
P4.
Yeah, also. Okay, so you could have used a P of 4 or a negative 2. You see? Okay, but let's start with P1 because it's the easy one. Okay? All right, because P1 is equal to 0, then therefore x minus 1 is a factor. And then you're going to find the other factors by long division. So now we find the other factors. Factors by long division. Okay, so that is something that you're going to do. That is something that you're going to be doing. And when you find all factors, you're going to tell me what the answer is. All right? Okay, please go for it. Okay, now we're going to pause the video. And then we're going to write down what the answer is.
Yeah, was it? Yeah.
You're doing a great job, Sarah.
Thank you.
Cool. I'm going to have to give you a butterfly or no, a stamp. Yeah. Ribbon. I'm going to give you a ribbon next time. Come on, Joel. Okay, so we have an answer. You're going to write it down, and then you're going to check, double check if you got the same. Right, can you press?
I think it's done.
Okay, so we have an answer, all right? So we're going to say this. X cubed minus 3x squared minus 6x plus 8 equals 0 is equivalent to Okay, what is the answer? Yeah. Megan, sorry.
X squared minus 2x.
Wait. Okay, I want all the factors. Okay, go.
X minus 1,
X minus 4,
x minus 4,
x plus 2 equals 0. Okay, and this is fascinating. Okay, great, because now you can say, well, therefore the solution for this equation is x equals positive 1, positive 4, and negative 2. Okay, so today you have solved your first cubic equation. All right, it's time to pack up.